Current conditions on Arctic Circle, heading out of Big Bear. Sun's just popping up. Chainsaw required still, but it's looking pretty clear. After today, should be pretty nice. Take your time, be safe.
While I'm sitting there in the hearing room, you could drop a subpoena on me. You take the subpoena off the table, or I'm not coming. Well, they worked out an accommodation where he won't be subpoenaed today. That's the agreement. He can be subpoenaed down the line if he doesn't want to answer certain questions,
right. And the question,
mostly about what Mueller and his conversation with the White House.
What he knew and how he became the acting attorney general over Rosenstein. Because usually it's the deputy attorney general that move up in an acting position. And what Trump did is he was chief of staff to, I think, Jeff Sessions. And then Trump blew him right over that. And there's a lot of talk. I don't know why. I mean, the president has the ability to do that. He can name anybody he wants. So he decided to break protocol. Oh, wow, this president decided to break protocol? And you're upset about that? Oh, thank you very much. Where's the news here? The president's allowed to do that. It's that simple.
The longest serving member in U.S. history of Congress has died of cancer.
At 92, John Dingell.
Yeah.
Who, if you look at, first of all, he was 59 years in Congress. And a liberal out of Detroit, so very pro-car. And he was, oh my God, he was there at the civil rights movement. He served every president from Dwight Eisenhower right through Barack Obama. So he's seen a lot of history.
And he replaced his dad, right, who died in office, from what I understand. And then his wife took over for him, Debbie Dingell?
I don't know. Certainly I know his dad.
Yeah. This Arctic Circle, 6:20 a.m. Beautiful time to travel, obviously.
And apparently he was
free too.
He was quite good on Twitter.
Yeah. And very entertaining. Everybody says.
He was sassy. He was good.
Okay, another guy.
Also passed away, Frank Robinson, the first black baseball manager in Major League Baseball and Hall of Famer.
It says he stole first. And for the Reds, he was player-manager. How often does that happen in modern day baseball?
Modern day? No.
I don't think so.
When he retired, he was number 4 on the home run all-time list. He's still number 10. He's also the only player ever to win MVP in both leagues.
Yeah, quite a guy.
Yeah. Hell of a career.
83.
More recently, you may have seen him at a Lakers game. He was a huge Lakers fan.
And he lives in Bel Air.
Oh, sure.
He did okay money-wise.
Yeah. By the way, I just looked up John Dingell's Twitter account, and one of the last posts from him was November 3rd, 2018. It just says, "I'll get right to the point. I wrote a book. You should read it. And pre-order a copy here."
That's absolutely hilarious. All right, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and do more handle on the news. All right, let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
A developer's donation has added a new layer to questions about corruption at LA City Hall.
The real estate company gave $50,000 to a committee linked to Councilman Jose Huizar shortly before a key vote. That vote was on a proposal that would have protected the LA Times building from future development. But Ani Contracting was trying to build a couple of high-rise buildings on the property. The FBI raided Huizar's home and offices shortly after the donation. It's not clear whether those search warrants were connected to the donation. The council eventually approved the development. Andrew Mullenbeck, KFI News.
News is brought to you by Black Panther. More than 1,300 people have tried to get into a new affordable housing facility with only 55 spots in downtown Fullerton.
What used to be a Hawaiian Punch bottling facility is now modern, brightly lit, low-income studio, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom housing.
It's not just a miracle for one life, it's a miracle for thousands.
Beth Southern leads a group offering social services at the property. She says, take a person who's been on the street 20 years.
Put them in housing. In a year, not only are they vibrant and lively and healthy. They're actually successfully housed.
She says that after 3 years, 97% of her clients are still housed. In Fullerton, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
A condo owner in the Valley Glen area has found cut pipes and gushing water in her garage. Robin Jackson told NBC4 her neighbors are lucky she gets up earlier than everyone else because she called and got the water shut off.
It's an utter shock that someone would go to the trouble to break in and just steal a few sections of copper pipe.
The stolen pipe sections are worth about $3,000. A jury in Washington state has awarded $123 million to people affected by a duck boat crash that killed 5 college students. 60 other people were hurt in 2015 when the duck boat crashed into a college tour bus on a bridge. The plaintiff's lawyer, Karen Kohler, says maybe this judgment will help get the World War II era vehicles outlawed.
No one that was in this was fine. And the people that were the worst, especially the young students, their lives will never be the same.
The duck boat company says it made safety improvements, to which the lawyer says,
Yeah.
Just the end is a bit icy, but that was your Arctic Circle for February 8th, 2019. It should get better as we gravitate to Snow Valley. I'll let some of these cars go by in a second. Being the courteous person I am. If someone's going to slide off the road, it might as well be them. Not me. Take your time. Always my advice. I'm going to pick up a young man and his woman who are taking their time and leaving their car into San Bernardino, I believe. And I'm going to take them up and back down to their car later tonight. That's called a safe ride. It's also called a nice money ride. But that's why we do this, don't we? Be safe is all that matters.
What's going on? That's what's going on. But you wanted to get off before that. Use Stampede or Central Alameda, any of those into downtown. If you're just going to continue to the west, once you get past this and all the flashing lights and stuff, it's just morning drive slow out towards the 405. Eastbound side there's a lot better. Traffic is still moving along. Injured in an accident, visit superlawyer.com. F.I. in the sky.
More trouble on the 5 different Downey on the southbound 5 to the 605. It's the left lane that's blocked with several cars that collided. Paramount Boulevard is where you start to really drive slow. AFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
The Lakers beat the Celtics in Boston, 129 to 128. That win courtesy of a buzzer-beating basket from Rajon Rondo. In Indiana, the Pacers just creamed the Clippers, who were expelled by a lopsided score, 116 to 92. In hockey, the Kings defeated the Philadelphia Flyers in a 3-2 shootout result, but the Ducks are now 0-6 in their last 6 games after losing to the Ottawa Senators 4-0. I'm Wayne Redskins, KFI Sports.
Attention investors, diversify to real estate for returns.
So beautiful in the morning.
With monthly payouts,
I love
tax
it.
advantages, and 100% of cash flow paid to investors first. National Realty has a proven 11-year track record, $800 million of realty under management, and a new $200 million portfolio closing now. Backing your
Just wait for some of these banks coming up. It's so beautiful.
buildings, luxury condos with Hoboken, New Jersey water needs, and Delray.
Especially if the sun is setting in the right place. It's gonna be amazing.
point where no one can hear anything, that's protest for them.
It becomes like a screaming filibuster.
Yeah, yep. With no one else being able to speak.
Now, do you think that
It's crazy.
she wants to follow these rules and have these charges dropped, or is she going to use this as an opportunity to create another high-profile arrest?
If I had
for
to guess,
herself? And I don't know.
I don't
what's in
either.
her
But
head.
if I had to guess, I think it's going to happen again, and I think she's going to be looking for a First Amendment issue. But she's going to lose because the issue has nothing to do with her politics. The issue simply has to do with you disrupt, you're out. You have 5 minutes or 8 minutes to stand up and say your piece, and I won't get out, I won't leave, I'm screaming. No. You're going to get out of the place, if not, you'll be ejected. And then what would happen, and I don't know if this specific case would happen, is someone would be ejected and would get into a fight and with police officers there, and then would be charged with resisting arrest. And then they're screaming police brutality. I mean, it's crazy. It really is. So, I mean, that's not protest. It's fascinating that people define protest.
Speaking of police, the mayor, Eric Garcetti, has ordered LAPD to reduce the number of traffic stops in a controversial program.
Yeah,
This is the
Metropolitan Police trying to figure out why African Americans are stopped more than whites per capita in the same place. Yep, and we're not talking about an area you go to an African American area, of course more blacks are going to be picked up. No, this is per capita across Southern California. So there's something to look at there.
Yeah, and even the chief, Michael Moore, said he's going to look into this and try to fix whatever.
Yeah, it has to be looked into. I mean, there's no question. It's one of those things where, okay, what's going on with that?
Well, smoke in Minnesota affected Wells Fargo customers across the country. Like they were just doing like some routine maintenance, but there was some smoke at the Shoreview, Minnesota facility, and it just shut down access.
Right.
They said that there were even some ATMs that were impacted, people were reporting.
So 5 to 9, so there it was, 4 hours, which actually is good news for the consumer, because that's 4 hours that Wells Fargo was able to open up 15 more accounts during that period for clients.
Hey, they're trying to change their ways now. They're trying to focus on the customer now and return to the great traditions of the founding of Wells Fargo.
Yes.
Or something, I think. Something.
I read that it was a two-page ad in the LA Times this past week, Sunday edition, and it was just, we love our customers, just went on up this crap. I don't know how you get over that anytime soon. I mean, they're doing everything they can. They hired the people they need to do, but that's one of those things where time heals. Not on this show, it doesn't.
The feds have waived environmental reviews so they can start replacing some border fencing down in San Diego.
You say classy San Diego.
If you determine that a project is a national security interest project, then the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security can issue a waiver of the environmental laws.
Yeah.
They start replacing. In this case, it's that steel mesh wall
Right.
that worked great until people started going to Home Depot and getting those battery-powered saws, which were slicing
right through them, yes.
Yeah.
And so for those people that are screaming about, oh my God, there's no protection anymore, and the president is waiving all those environmental issues, National Environmental Policy Act, the Clean Air Act, the Endangered Species Act, and every single one of those are filed separately when you have the activists trying to stop anything. My brother got caught up in that. It took him 3 years to get permits to build in an area that was the Conservancy, Coastal Commission, strangely enough, all over the files from the beach. He had policy after policy, and it took him years. I mean, it becomes impossible to do anything. And it looks like they would have the same problem with the wall. Lawsuit would hit. We don't have an impact study. We don't have so the government is saying, hey, and I agree with the government on this.
But you can
I
still
totally
sue.
agree.
They can still sue the government and say that the waiver was not done properly.
Of course.
So I think it still may end up.
That's when it becomes crazy. It really does.
Well, speaking of walls, there's a town in Arizona that says, hey, we don't want the razor wire on top of a fence that runs through the downtown of our city.
Oh, man. Well, I guess the downtown is right where the border is.
Right.
All right, so there's the Nogales, Mexico, Nogales, United States, and they don't want razor wire on top. Why? Because their own people, the citizens of Nogales, America, might fall into the law. How do you fall into a fence that has razor wire on top?
Well, it also apparently has razor wire along the bottom.
So don't
I guess you could stumble, you could be drunk and stumble. Okay, so they have a point. You have razor wire even at ground level, and it's dangerous. That's a decent argument. But you know what they're calling it? An indiscriminate use of lethal force. Now they've lost a lot of credibility.
Yeah, nobody's trying to kill you. Nobody's trying to attack you. It would be you being the dummy who somehow fell on this.
Yeah, our biggest concern is tourism and safety. I'm going to argue the other way. I think people from all over the world would come to see a fence down the middle of a town that had razor wire on top. Take selfies, and they just have a great time with it. Let's take a break. Jennifer, you want to share? Look at the angles you are.
I want to say, though, you're not right, Handel, but there would be people who would go and take selfies next to the razor wire like the controversy. There just would be. American and Australian officials have intercepted a 3,900-pound haul of meth, cocaine, and heroin. The drugs were hidden in a shipment of loudspeakers sent from the ports of L.A. 1.7 million more cars have been recalled because they